The following scientific investigation was originally produced as part of the debut season of Dinner with Racers, which originally aired in 2019. Dinner with Racers has since moved to MotorTrend Plus and MotorTrend on YouTube, where you can find past episodes, except for this one. Weird.
So we want to make an entire episode about a poster that was given to a bunch of fans, and NASCAR does not want us to do this at all. You're our lawyer. What do you think we can do it?
Well, I got to see the poster. So let me get this straight. You two want to hang it out there and do an episode about this guy hanging his out there.
Yeah.
You guys are out of your minds.
So yeah, it's a yeah?
Yes.
And now for Dinner with Racers with your hosts, Ryan Eversley and Sean Heckman.
Placeholder radio sound. I'm a driver and I'm very angry. The sound of a driver on the radio during a race.
Oh, hey guys, it's Ryan from Dinner with Racers, and Sean from Dinner with Racers, and, well, I just wanted to warn you that this episode may contain some mature themes that may not be suitable for all viewers, so viewer discretion would be advised.
Howdy. You might recognize me from an earlier episode. I'm the Sam Elliott type. Yeah. Well, you may want to listen to Ryan on this one. Youngins and those of you who might get easily offended might not like this. But I do.
About Tim Richmond?
I do.
You know about the Tim Richmond poster?
None. Oh, when it's, yeah.
Do you know about the poster?
Yeah, I do know about the poster. How can you not know about the poster?
So, do you know the Tim Richmond poster? Do you know anything about it?
The poster?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I am familiar.
Oh, you can find the original poster.
I don't want one.
You don't want one?
No.
Okay.
And by the way, I own one.
Do you know anything about Tim Richmond?
No.
Nothing. Do you know who he is?
No.
You know who Tim Richmond is?
No.
Okay.
Tim Richmond, cult hero, sex symbol, an icon of the 1980s, and
Hey, how long are we going to keep using that cheesy effect?
thank you. Now, if you don't know Tim Richmond, here's the deal. The guy was straight out of a movie. In fact, we'll get into that later. But he was a wealthy, good-looking dude. He ran Indy cars, but then he moved to NASCAR, and it was that sort of classic fish out of water tale.
So the images of Tim you're seeing right now, you're gonna probably see over and over and over again. And here's why. See, Tim actually passed away due to complications from AIDS in 1989. And this was at a time when there was a lot less known. No Magic Johnson, no Arthur Ashe, no Tom Hanks movies. And let's just say his departure from NASCAR was a little controversial on all sides. So licensing footage of Tim, yeah, it's not been easy.
So if you're looking for a Tim Richmond biography, this isn't going to be it. In fact, there's some really well-made documentaries that are already out there, so there's no point in us telling that same story all over again. So instead, here's what we're doing.
The way his career ended sort of masked over some of the greatest legends about Tim. So this won't be some sort of career retrospective where we look at illness and try to incite controversy or any of that. This is literally just an episode where we look at some great untold legends of Tim and look at perhaps his most famous prank of all time.
because we feel like that's the thing about Tim Richmond that everyone seems to have forgotten. And it's probably the coolest part about the guy. So, here you go.
In 2019, the name Tim Richmond is mainly associated with stock car racing, and it's almost unfortunate because few realize that his career actually started with IndyCar and really had a lot of promise.
I'm at Gainesville at the drag races, and Lou Max was hauling ass. Well, they were kicking butt and taking names, and they had just qualified. And out walks this long, tight jeans, cowboy boots, long hair with a toothpick in his mouth, and he goes, "Hey." I go, "I feed horses hay." He goes, "Are you Linda?" And I go, "Yes, I am." I said, "Who are you?" He goes, "I'm Tim Richmond." I said, "When you gonna come run one of these cars?" He goes, "No, I ain't gonna run one of these cars. I'm gonna go to Indy." I said, "Oh, okay. If you ever go to Indy, I'll make sure you're taken care of." And he was cocky. Lord, was that boy cocky. Every woman, my mother, my sisters, my grandma, and every woman in the whole racetrack was going, "Who is that?" And I said, "It's TLR, our new superstar." I nicknamed him that the first time I met him. So somehow you got my phone number.
Weird.
I started getting phone calls.
I remember that in 1979, he went to the 500 Victory Banquet with Linda Vaughn and June Cochran were his dates. And I thought, boy, is that guy an operator? He hasn't even been in the race yet. And they're his dates, you know, but that was him.
And started talking to people, and I introduced him to Foyt. And Foyt said, "You think that boy can drive?" And I said, "Why don't you sell him a car and see for yourself?" He goes, "He's too much of a pretty boy."
On pole day, as they call it now, I think he had the fastest practice lap, period.
Yeah.
Like everybody was talking about him, and the TV people loved him. He was just there and available. And then this iconic moment that was, you know, almost like it was scripted, where he ran out of fuel on the next to last lap, and then Johnny Rutherford won for the third time, and then pulled up, motioned to him, and so Richmond got on the side. And
you can look at all the pictures. Here's TLR, the Rookie of the Year, TLR, the superstar, rides in with the winner of the race from Texas.
Yeah.
And AJ was really pissed.
So this is the shop barn that Harry Hogg used in Days of Thunder, which was, as we've learned, based on Tim Richmond's life. So this would have been Rick Hendrick's original shop, in theory.
It's across the street from the Harris Teeter.
I remember one of the first times I interviewed Tim, and he was always good about talking with me at the track because I would go in the garage. He didn't like people that sat in the media center and expected him to come to them.
Sure. Yeah.
So I asked him why he left IndyCar to come to NASCAR. The response was so totally different from drivers of that era, and it was because it makes my mother feel more comfortable, because she doesn't like me in the open wheel cars, and she feels the stock cars are safer.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, there's no other driver out here that would admit that.
Yeah, right.
The natural talent that he brought to the sport, that child prodigy Mozart kind of talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just like, oh my God, where'd that come from? At the same time, he was a showman, and the show was part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The show was who he was off the racetrack was part of who he was on the racetrack.
So the story is that allegedly Days of Thunder is loosely based on Tim Richmond.
Loosely based, and the reason they could never say it was based on him was because they never got rights from his parents.
Cole Trickle's crew chief was named Harry Hogg.
Right.
Tim Richmond's crew chief,
Harry Hyde. As Harry Hyde told me once, the way Tom Cruise came up riding the motorcycle at the beginning of Days of Thunder, he said when Tim Richmond came riding up on his motorcycle to my house, he said that's exactly what he looked like.
Yeah.
Very famously, Harry Hyde did do the 50 laps your way, 50 laps my way.
At North Wilkesboro. And that was how he finally got Tim Richmond to listen to him. And some of the things that happened in there were things that happened to other drivers. For example, you can't pit now, we're eating our ice cream.
Yeah.
That was at Darlington when Harry Hyde was Benny Parsons' crew chief.
Can you imagine Benny Parsons? He's a big dude.
Yeah.
All those stories we told the writers.
Yeah.
And back in those days, Dale and I banged a lot, and Tim was the playboy. It's Tim's birthday. Now, in the movie, they had Tim Harry riding in the transporter, the trailer, and got pulled over by a cop who was a stripper who did her thing.
Yeah.
Whatever. It didn't happen that way. You don't ride in those trailers up and down the road.
We know. We're watching going, that's not a thing.
This happened in Harry Hyde's shop.
Wait, so that actually happened?
On the door. In comes this cop.
Good-looking cop.
Good looking.
Okay.
Had and everything.
Okay. So do you know Jerry Punch?
Oh, yeah.
So you know that he wrote, directed, and produced Days of Thunder, right?
I don't think so.
Women loved him, but you couldn't be jealous of him because you envied his talent. You envied what he was doing. So it wasn't a jealousy, you know what I mean? You ask a story. So we went to Dover, and we went to a movie, and it was Woman in Red. I can't remember what. So we're sitting there, and halfway through the movie, and he's like, I'm gonna see if that girl will go out with me. The girl on the screen. I can't remember who she was.
Did you just censor yourself right there?
No, yeah, a little bit. That was a little censored. That was a little censored. It was a different time. So, yeah, I'm gonna see if that girl will talk to me. You know what I mean? That's whatever. So anyhow, bigger than crap. Next time I see him, he's gone out with her twice. I mean, he's like, yeah. Every time I go to LA, and he would leave the racetrack and go to LA.
Yeah.
He would leave the racetrack and go to New York. He would leave and go to Miami and live on a boat. I mean, that was just him. But he came from a different world too.
I had a person tell me that was at Indy the year he won rookie honors in 1980, that the women loved him so at Indy that they were 3 and 4 deep at the fence throwing him their hotel room keys.
I'm going to go on a limb and say that not every NASCAR driver in that era was a family guy.
No.
Yeah, so I'm sure there were plenty of guys that were doing well with the ladies. Was there something different about his approach in the sense of being flamboyant or being out there about it?
Let's look at it this way. All right, most of the unmarried guys that were in the sport and were out there and were doing well were playing Pop Warner football. And Tim was playing NFL ball. It was a different league. Okay. It was a different league. Okay.
That is in a
yeah.
He means with girls.
Yes. Different league. Okay. If we use that as an analogy, it's a different league. I mean, he skipped high school and college and went straight
to the pros.
Right to the pros, man. I mean, it was like the women that he went out with, the places he went out with them. It wasn't, hey, want to go to Bojangles? Get a spicy biscuit? You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, you know what I mean?
There was a guy at Hendrick Motorsports named Jimmy Johnson, Jimmy with a Y.
Yeah, not the same.
Not the racer, but who was general manager of Hendrick Motorsports in the mid-'80s.
Sure.
And he went down to Fort Lauderdale where Tim was living on a boat, 9 o'clock in the morning. Tim's on his boat, eating crab legs and drinking beer, wearing a swimsuit. And Jimmy's there to deliver a brand new Z28 Camaro, which was one of the perks for being a Chevy driver.
Yeah.
He says, Tim, you got to take me back to the airport. So Tim says, okay. So they hop in the Z28, and Tim's going down the road through Fort Lauderdale, and he sees this place called R Donuts. And R Donuts was infamous because it was a topless donut shop. There were women who wore nothing from the waist up when they served their donuts.
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing.
That's not real.
It was real in the 80s. And So Tim does a U-turn across the medial barrier in his brand new Z28.
Yep. As you do.
Yeah. Parks out in front of there, and he and Jimmy go in and enjoy a couple of donuts. Topless donuts.
As you do.
The Hendrick Motorsports that we've experienced today is pretty conservative in terms of what they let out there PR-wise and marketing-wise. How would a guy going to a topless donut shop go over in an organization?
I will tell you this, Rick Hendrick loved him.
Really?
Rick loved him. You could have 3 guys, and they could walk up to you and all tell you the same dirty joke. And depending on the person's personality, you could either want to slug them, or just kind of go, oh, God, that's lame, or laugh your butt off. Tim Richmond was the laugh your butt off guy. He could charm anybody and anything. Rick took him to the first sponsors meeting with Folgers, which is a Procter & Gamble company. Tim shows up in a pair of cowboy boots, a pair of running shorts slid up the side, a T-shirt that says "Eat Mo Possum," and a mink coat.
To a sponsor meeting.
To a sponsor meeting.
With Procter & Gamble.
With Procter & Gamble. And they got the deal.
You got it, you got it.
Hey, Carolyn.
Yes, sir.
Is this an original?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Does anybody ever ask about this poster?
Millions and millions and millions.
And is there a specific reason?
Tim Richmond.
Tim Richmond.
Here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And this place has been around since how long?
June 74. 1974.
And you've had everybody that's anybody in NASCAR come in here.
Pretty much.
And millions of people ask about this poster. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Wonder why.
What was the Winston when it first showed up? It's essentially what we know now as the All-Star race, but to somebody that was in the scene as a regular and a winner, when they first told you about the Winston, what was your take on what the whole thing was going to be?
When they said how much money it was going to be, we all said, whoa, put us in.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach.
Right.
Of course, you had to earn your way in.
It was only people that won races are in the All-Star race.
When you would win a race back then, knowing that would put you into the...
That was job security.
Okay. So it actually had a real meaning.
The Winston was NASCAR's all-star race.
Okay.
And at first it was only 10 or 12 guys. It started off very small.
So what kind of promotion would have been done around that event? Like the poster that they took, and they did this for years, as I understand it.
Well, R.J. Reynolds, the presenting sponsor of NASCAR at the time, had limitations to where they could advertise because of tobacco laws.
Sure.
They put a ton of money into NASCAR. They gave out promotional posters. They did hero cards.
When there's a lineup of photos with you guys, like that's a physical photo that had to get taken.
Yeah.
So for the, let's call it the Winston in the mid-'80s,
Yeah.
is it just everybody show up a month before and we're going to do the studio photo, or how did that work?
Everybody shows up at a certain time, and we're going to do this photo thing. And the guy says, okay, I'm going to do one more shot like 15 times, you know.
So there's a very famous Winston poster that you're in.
You know what we're talking about?
Yeah. And I heard about that, and I said, do what? They said, yeah. It's Tim Richmond. His thing fell out.
The interesting thing was, see, they always handed out those posters for free at the track.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know how the ones that were printed or how many were printed before it got caught.
So it wasn't like you came through the gate and here's your free poster.
No, it got caught before that. I don't know if maybe the people that saw it were supposed to destroy it and didn't.
Right. Well, why would
and
you?
It got out, you know? Yeah, because I went back and looked at my poster that I got.
Right.
And it's been corrected.
Sure.
But some of the ones that were printed did make their way into people's hands.
Sure.
How the hell did that happen, you know?
Right.
And,
Right.
And so I went downstairs to Blake House, was like a playroom, party room type thing.
Yeah.
And I had some racing stuff in it. And I walked over there and I went, holy that thing's been hanging in my Lake House. And I had no idea. Yeah.
Over 30 years later, the famous Tim Richmond poster remains a thing of folklore. And for whatever reason, whether it's the internet or in person, there's literally no two facts that are the same. We'll interview one person who says the posters were removed before they ever went out in circulation. And then the internet will say it took 6 years to get discovered.
But the real folklore and controversy is not in the timing of the discovery, it's in the act itself. And in our research, we discovered that the internet has a lot of opinions on what this poster really is. We look at it and think, yeah, it's a But for some reason, there are several prevailing counter-theories that it is just an optical illusion. For example, with Tim Richmond in declining health by 1987, some say it was a cane that he used to stand on. Others say it was a thumb.
So, we decided to go straight to the people that were there and found that there was absolutely no consistent answer on what exactly happened that day. So, current folklore about that poster is that it's not real. That's not what he did.
Yeah, I don't know what he did.
Right. Is it in line with Tim's personality to pull a prank like that?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you weren't like, what, Tim Richmond did that?
Yeah.
So some people say he had a cane in that photo. Did you see him walk out with a cane that day?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you look at it, it's like, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Is it still on the wall at home?
No.
What do you remember about that poster in general?
I'm not sure which one it was.
It's the poster.
The poster.
That was Photoshop. I was there. Tim Richmond would never do that.
Really?
No.
Really?
Really? You're really saying really?
Well, because people like Terry, for example, he didn't say he did it, but his exact quote was, "It's in line with something he would do."
No. You can tell it's Photoshop. Come on.
So
there's pictures that it's not in.
Right.
They're the real pictures.
Okay.
So which you gonna believe? This one or this one?
So why wouldn't Tim do that?
No, he was bad, but he wasn't that bad.
Did you ever see him walk in with a cane?
No.
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 No one laughed. No one said anything. No one joked. It didn't happen.
Right.
The picture was Photoshopped from the original. There's no question in my mind. None.
What's your take on that story?
It is not what it's been told to be.
Okay.
Okay. Some people say it was a cane. Did you see him walk on to that photo set with a cane?
I did not.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, see, he was about 2 over from me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right behind Neil Bonnet.
Mm-hmm.
The part I've seen, I'm thinking with Neil Bonnet's ear.
Okay. But he was just one of those characters that people could believe something to be that because of all the other antics.
Oh, yeah.
1980s NASCAR, when you guys are doing promotional stuff.
Oh, yeah.
People aren't doing things on computers. There's no Photoshop in the same way that there would be today.
Oh, you want to know if he pulled it out?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
I might.
Is that where you're going? Is that the pretext? The stories have always been there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I vaguely remember the photo when we took the photo.
Yeah, you were
know
there,
what I mean?
right.
Yeah, but I vaguely remember because it was one of those deals, and if you look at it, it's one of those deals where it's like, okay, everybody come over here, we're going to take a picture in front of this, and boom.
You're
We
right.
just took a picture and we were gone.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Now, since that time, the legend has grown that that's what that is. Do I have touchable knowledge or firsthand knowledge? No, I don't.
If memory serves, you're
I'm
pretty
side.
on the
Yeah, he's
you're
over
on the
here
other
and I'm
side.
in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm like in the middle to the right because I was the taller
Tall
guys
guy,
went
yeah.
there, so
Yeah.
that's kind of where it was
Yeah.
at.
So from
So
your
no,
vantage point, you didn't see anything.
No.
But
Could
you
it
did
have
not-
been? Yes, because I do know of another driver that used to would unzip the bottom of his pants or his thing and just pull one testicle out and zip it back and just walk around with it hung out, which is a whole nother story.
It's Bobby Hamilton.
Oh my God!
Was that right?
Could be. And he always had a way of rubbing it on Michael Waltrip.
Well, we're all done here.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yep. So look, we're just a couple of podcast idiots, and whatever we may think that this is, we don't want to force our opinions down your throat. So just for objectivity's sake, let's go down the path for a second that this is real.
Well, before looking at the image itself, there's actually a fundamental psychological question you should ask first, which is motive. Would he want to do this? Well, if you've made it this far in the video, you already know that he has a history of having fun and pulling pranks, but at this point in his career, he'd also started to become a bit defiant, not only of NASCAR, but also some of his peers. So when Tim first came into the sport, it sounds like he was far more accepted than maybe we would have thought.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
he was the IndyCar guy,
Yeah.
he was a wealthy guy that wasn't from the South, but he still seemed to sort of ingratiate himself. It wasn't until he started winning races or start kind of dusting it up with guys on track.
No,
okay.
no, it was in 1985 when he started becoming so belligerent to NASCAR.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was when things started happening in his lifestyle, and a lot of things started happening in his life that the drivers that were very careful about the image of the sport, that's when the problem started.
Okay. So the thing that might upset drivers, it wouldn't be necessarily wrecking each other into three.
Oh, no.
No, it's just making a bad name for the sport.
He was upset with NASCAR because of the safety, the lack of safety then, what he perceived as good medical quality, traveling with the circuit week in and week out. That attitude of I don't cow down to anybody. And that was where the problem started.
When he got mad at Bill Jr., it was over, we don't have blood, and he wanted to make sure if there's burn victims, you gotta have lots and lots of blood. We don't have a blood bank, and he really wanted to do a blood bank in his name. And then when he got a little bit over his head and he was gone for a while, got hooked up with a bad crowd.
Yeah.
So in terms of his peers, other drivers sort of by 85, 86 kind of having enough of him, what were some of the activities?
It was his partying.
It was the party.
Yeah, some of the things that went on at the parties.
Okay.
And
he's synonymous with things like girls, but I can't imagine he was the only guy in that garage.
it didn't have anything to do with women.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just sort of,
It was other activities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were trying to look into a larger reason why he'd do something like this, it could be that he was kind of thumbing his nose in other ways at NASCAR, but it also could be because he was in a room of his peers who at this time were maybe a little more confrontational with him. Because once you're kind of already in that antagonistic position, you're going to continue to antagonize.
Well, especially if you think you're better or bigger than everybody.
Yeah, well, you know, and he was just a mischievous guy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a fun-loving, partying, mischievous person.
The look on his face is very much of the look of, look what I'm getting away with. You know, like that's the funny thing to me is the look on his face is just like so proud of himself for what he's about to pull off.
I'll put it this way. I don't know if it happened for sure, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Right. Okay. All right.
Today on Shiftbusters, we explore one of the greatest racing legends that everyone forgot about. Was it a Join Ryan and Sean as they use the latest in ballistic technology, photographic advancement, and other science stuff to find out the real truth behind the 1987 Winston poster. But first, we get some opinions from some real experts.
So we've asked you guys here today to talk about something that's pretty important to us.
Christy.
Yes.
How many penises would you say you've seen?
Probably a few thousand, I would say.
London. How many penises would you say you've seen?
A lot. Probably like 1,000 or more. I don't, because like, yeah, I mean, if we're counting all of the ones that just end up in my inbox, then yeah.
Jenna, how many penises would you say you've seen?
I've been in 5 years, so 5 times 10, maybe like, I'm so bad at math.
5 times 10?
That's 50, but you've seen more than that. I know.
So we could honestly say that you guys are an expert in the field of male genitalia.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's our occupation.
Can you ladies look anywhere in this poster and tell me if you see a dick?
Oh, these things says Wrangler.
Let's not identify any major brands, please.
Yes, I see. What?
Yeah.
See, there's a dick right behind his ear.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how he felt about that.
Our camera guy, Richard, looked at it for about 3 minutes and didn't find it until we identified that he was standing up. You guys found it in like 7 seconds. Yeah.
Okay. Christy, is that a cane?
Absolutely not.
Does it look like a thumb?
No.
London, what do you think? Does it appear to be a cane of any sort?
No.
Jenna, thoughts on if there's a penis on this poster?
Yep.
Okay.
Do you notice like a generational difference? So like somebody that's say over 70 when they hear that you do adult film work versus somebody that's like our age or under 30, is there a difference in perception?
I definitely feel like older generation, they're not as accepting as the younger generation.
Is that specific to sex acts or just nudity in general?
I think it's both.
Do any of you have relatives that are from the South?
Older Southern people or older people from any states that, like, you know, you would typically think of as being either part of the Bible Belt or that are really conservative. They tend to be church-going folk and also a little bit more modest about things. Because, like, my whole family's from the Midwest, and they're not nearly as nice as your family about the porn thing.
So if he's not getting along with people and he does it, he sneaks his penis into a photo, is he kind of doing that to just sort of say, screw you guys?
He didn't get along with those people in that photo?
Some of them.
Then that's the reason. That's what I think it is to be like this, like, kind of final to these people. Yeah, that's because that's what I would do if I had to give people to me. And I was like, this will make you uncomfortable for the rest of your life.
This is our whole episode.
So let me ask you this. Do you find that funny?
I find it more funny now knowing that the people in that photo are trying to deny it happened. That's what makes it hilarious.
Okay.
Like imagining a bunch of older gentlemen like, that wasn't a dick. That's really funny.
So like any TV show, we really want to show something cool visually, but we have to fake like we're doing science in order to achieve it.
So like any good science show, we have to fire stuff into ballistics gel.
But apparently you have to order ballistics gel weeks in advance.
So we're gonna use Jello.
So after the poster came out in 1987, we can't help but wonder, wouldn't he have felt a penis behind his head?
So that's why we've devised 2 tests.
Test 1, we're gonna shake a thumb, a cane, and a penis to see if that Jello notices.
Test 2, we're actually going to impact that Jello with a penis, a cane, and a thumb. So, Jenna, would you like to shake that penis at this Jello mold?
Shaken.
Not seeing a lot here, Sean.
No different?
Yeah, no different.
Okay, let's try the cane.
Okay, let's shake that cane at this thing. Yeah, nothing. I'm not getting any response
Okay,
whatsoever.
well, how about your thumb?
Okay, thumb it.
No different.
Yeah, no, still.
So there's no way he would have known between the
I don't
three.
think he has a clue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try the impact.
Okay, impact time. 3, 2, 1.
Well, that's
This
something.
Ready for that cane?
Ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, Sean, noticing that each thing did make some sort of impression.
So the science says that if something was behind you and actually hit you, you would have noticed it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
well that's something.
Yeah, I think we could have just probably assumed that from the get-go, but we had all this Jello. Okay, so this is in like literally in 6 seconds. This girl has never seen this before. I was like, yeah, it's right there. And it was like, holy shit. Like, we're not making stuff we didn't tell them. Great.
The answer is yes. Yes, we did.
All right, guys, come on over here. We'll get you a sign for where we're going to put you in the poster. So head on over. All right, this is Jenna to my right. She's lovely, and we'll be putting you in your place for the photo we're going to take to try to recreate the Tim Richmond poster. So John Miller's going to be playing Darryl Waltrip. We have Duncan Indy is Tim Richmond, you lucky SOB. Ricky Rudd, nice, good road course guy. Well, you're gonna be Kyle Petty, so we'll make you Terry Labonte. Texas Terry. Yeah. All right.
That's stash.
We got Austin here. You're gonna be Neil Bowman. All right.
Right there.
Morgan Shepherd, that's what I picked for you. All around since some people.
You can be in.
I'll be Dale Earnhardt. Yeah, I'm gonna be Dale Earnhardt. I didn't do that, she did that.
All right, so Austin kneeling. So left leg down, left knee down. Wait, do we have Bobby?
Bobby Ellison.
Do we have a Bobby? I
don't think so.
We should used to be Bobby. That's important for our scientific research. So we're going to start with the thumb. So there's three theories: that it's a thumb, it's a cane, and it's a dick. So we're going to start with the thumb. So Duncan, you're going to pull your thumb out. And Eric's going to lead you on how to best get your thumb in the position it needs to be in.
Okay. I'm going to address the folks on the right-hand side last. Pat, just move a little bit to your right. Yeah, okay, and then let it come over more like that. This one?
The one on top.
Oh, the thumb.
Yeah. Let it dangle a little bit.
So I'm ready to take the shot, Sean?
Okay, so from where we're standing looking at the camera, if I'm Morgan Shepherd, I don't see anything. Ryan.
Yeah, Bobby Allison can't see anything because of the shoulder in the way.
Okay, and Pat Lindsay, what would Terry Labonte see from there?
Nothing.
Interesting.
1, 2, 3. Sean, I'm saying that in the current configuration that we have, which most closely matches the photo, it's almost impossible to get the thumb to be at that angle that we're seeing there. So
you're basically saying it would be impossible to replicate a thumb to look like this poster?
Yeah, I'm saying we'd be here. It doesn't look likely that we would get the shot that we're seeing there.
Real quick, everybody can see that Jenna has a cane, right? Everybody in here can see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a cane. Got it.
Okay, so Duncan, bring your hands over this way. Keep going, keep going.
Ryan, if you are Bobby Allison, what do you see?
Well, Bobby Allison can look down, and I can see a cane. So if he had brought a cane to this shoot, I would see the cane right now.
Interesting. And then if you were Terry Labonte, Pat Lindsay, can you see anything?
No, not even in my peripheral.
Okay.
Here we go. 1, 2, smiles.
The biggest difference, I mean, the positioning is right.
Yeah.
But it's just one solid color.
The first one you showed us was the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, it's one color, so there's no difference there.
Yeah.
There's no shape to it other than a straight line. I'm pretty healthy with that.
Lean towards me. Move your head over this way.
Ryan, if you're Bobby Allison.
Yeah, Bobby Allison can't see anything.
And then what about Terry Labonte?
No, I can't see.
1, 2, smiling. Good.
He looks like wiser behind me.
On. You can see what's happening.
Camera technology's come a long way too. I mean, that thing's crystal clear. This is 1987.
You can draw your own conclusion about what exactly this poster is, but if there's one thing that we can verifiably say, it's that if you invite every racing driver in Southern California that you know to come join, 2/3 of them will flake on the day they're supposed to be there. So to make this image as authentic as possible, we went ahead and filled in the rest with the people that flaked on us, and then we filled in the rest with people that probably won't sue us.
So what do you think after seeing the photo and the original?
Well, I mean, I always knew it wasn't going to be a thumb. I thought the cane theory had like some merit, but I mean, you gotta call it that's it. No question at all. I think you guys hit it on the head.
Pun intended? Yeah. Pun intended? Good solid work by the crew as usual.
That's right.
You guys made a very valid point.
Yeah. Yeah. So is it your opinion that it is not a cane or a thumb?
I would have to agree with that.
Okay,
yes.
all right.
I remember going to Bristol. My first NASCAR race was in '88. Okay. And that day and age, I believe wholeheartedly that is Tim
throwing out. Yeah, that's actually Tim in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. So the specific poster, Sean and I, we have so many questions about it, and we've asked a ton of people about it.
He got in a lot of trouble for that.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So first thing that we found when we looked into this poster is that people on the internet don't believe that it's Tim.
Oh, it's Tim. It's Tim. Folks, it's Tim.
Just to set a little bit of background, would you say that you and Tim dated for a while?
I look at how nosy they're getting.
Just to set, like, you would know because you and Tim were very close.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, so if Linda Vaughn says that that's Tim Richmond in that poster.
That's Tim Richmond in that poster. I wouldn't know otherwise. No.
That's his conclusion.
Do I make myself
You could have
clear?
just come right here. Yeah, right.
If it was real, and he did do this, why would they care 30 years later that they'd be emphatic that it wasn't the case?
I think it would be embarrassing to them to think that another man would do that in front of all these men.
Really?
Yeah. Other stuff that happened, whether they were racing rental cars or driving cars into swimming pools or whatever, it really wasn't a crude, derogatory symbol towards the sport.
In my mind, it's a childish prank. And childish pranks among race drivers are just part of the job.
That would be considered a vulgar
That's what I'm
childish
saying.
prank.
And that's kind of where you're going. Whereas I interpret it as just a childish prank like you would with a rental car, you're saying it's both vulgar and because it was in a sort of a public setting by virtue of being a fan poster, that it went beyond just childish prank. And
Correct.
therefore, some of these guys from a different era than when we grew up would just say, no, I want no part
That's
of this.
over the exactly.
Yeah.
It's over the line.
It's over the line.
I have never given it 2 minutes of thought whether it's real, whether it's fake, whether it's doctored, whether it's retouched, whatever it is.
Right.
And I don't really care. But I think if somehow it were to come out that it were true, I think people would be mortified to be associated with it.
Dude, that's not a prank. That's sick. No, because that poster, millions, thousands of people are going to see it. He wouldn't do that.
I don't know. I mean, I think all of us pretty much believe it's Tim.
I don't think it's Neil Bonnet's elbow. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
My wedding tradition of every wedding party I've ever been, I've pulled the Tim Richmond. In one.
You know I'm recording, right?
One of the wedding photos, there's always a Tim Richmond with it out.
There's legends about Tim, there's legends about you, there's legends about Earnhardt. What's more important to you, the legend or the truth?
Oh, the truth, always.
Really?
Oh, the truth is, that's that's called integrity.
I guess I look at it this way. In every story, there's part truth and part fabrication.
Right.
But you got to add something that makes it a little bit more. A little bit more,
Right,
a little bit
yeah.
more. So when you get there, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. And I have no problem with the enhancements.
So, what'd you buy?
The poster. We got the poster. So awesome. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. You know, Sean, this isn't the first time we've had lab coats for DWR stuff.
It's actually not.
The last time you shattered your phone.
I what?
You shattered your phone.
I did.
Remember?
I've got one goal for today.
I'll have to refill the water here in a second. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, happy with that?
Yeah, that'll work.
Jello on the set. For science and racing.
We're on a road trip!
On the next episode of Dinner with Racers.